Howdy, everyone. Um, let's get into it here. Um, it has been a very sorry if you hear my dog scuttling. It's been a very I didn't even draw cards before I started this. It's been a very long day. Very good day. Very good day, but very long day. A lot of things. Very good things, though, I would say, personally. Oh, man. Alright. Man. I mean, if you want to talk about your day in the comments, go for it. I can guarantee I'll read it. I probably will. I've read everything so far. I'm just making conversation because I didn't pull the cards beforehand. I just kind of turned on the camera and went. Which is maybe better. I don't know. Oh, man. Okay. So where you're at right now, you're defending. I think you're defending your independence is what I would see this as. You're defending your independence. I think you're defending what I can see here from the Two of Cups, in the position of what needs to be gotten rid of. Defending your independence. Defending your independence from a connection or relationship, something that maybe you thought had potential falsely, or maybe even it does have potential, but you just can't cling to that so hard, you know? You're defending your solidarity, you know, what you've built for yourself, what you, I mean, with strength here, right? Strength is about compassion and understanding and being willing to love, even if it's dangerous, right? So I don't think this is saying to whatever situation you're in, it's not saying to cut ties and run, right? It's saying to stand strong in yourself, and trust that with the Chariot here, that will bring you exactly where you want to be or where you need to be. Whether that's a connection with this person or not. I think you have a fear that you will be left out in the cold, right? I think you have a fear that you'll be left out in the cold. And maybe your response to that has been to run, right? If I run first, they can't hurt me, right? If I run first, they can't leave me. Yeah, and maybe that's a thing you've done here and then you came back, or you've kind of come back into the situation with a strong stance in yourself. Or maybe you're thinking of running, right? I think I'm thinking too many generalities here. I'm going a little bit too broad for it to really matter. I think you're standing in your independence, right? I don't think you're there yet, but you're trying to find this balance of independence and um, loving another and letting another in, letting another love you, you loving another, right? Confirmation. You're yeah, yeah. Death card, new beginnings. Um, you're finding the space within yourself to really you're finding a perspective. You're finding a perspective. You're finding a way to offer love in a way that is healthy, in a way that keeps your independence and honors another person's independence, but also lets you combine forces, lets you work together, right? Like, it's a sheep and a lion, man. Like, that lion at any moment could just eat that sheep and there'd be nothing. There'd be nothing it could do about it. But it's choosing to do it anyway, right? That's kind of what love is giving yourself the chance to be hurt. Yeah. Love is just kind of giving yourself the chance to be hurt, you know? Caring about someone else enough and caring about them and what they think and how they feel enough for them to be able to hurt you. Because at the end of the day, right, the only people that don't hurt us when they insult us is people we don't respect or don't care about or don't feel like their views hold any value, right? Um, so, when you love someone, you respect them. You see their value. You respect their views and you respect who they are as an individual and what they think. And in giving that power to someone, right? And it's not necessarily you do it consciously, right? It's not like you choose who you love. Um, but there's a part of you that sees things in people that attract you to them, right? You see certain things in people that attract you to them, that make you fall in love with them, right? I'm not talking about like surface level, like, oh, they're attractive, right? This is something where it's like you have a deep conversation with them and you see something in them and you're like, I like that, you know? You have a conversation with them and they talk about their childhood or something and you're like, damn. And you're here now, huh? You've been carrying that this whole time and you're still who you are. You're still kind and amazing and all that. Six of Cups, right? I mean, you can see it on here, right? An offering, right? The two people here, they don't have everything figured out, right? They don't have everything they need, but they're together, right? We're all people going through our experience here, and we are just trying to find something that feels okay. We're trying to find something that feels right. Trying to find something that feels safe, you know? And finding that is often very painful and very hard. And you have to defend yourself and you have to think deeply and you have to contemplate and You have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to take risks. That turned a lot more into a yap kind of thing than it was good. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of a genius, but I'm so tired, man. When I'm tired, I get cocky. Two of Swords here. You are discerning between what's good and what's bad. The two sides of everything, the duality of the world, right? You're standing in yourself, and you're standing in what you want, and you're standing in what you will accept, right? And I think that's the thing, right? With the Two of Cups in the position where you have to let go of it, right? You're letting go of potential, right? Potential is important. Seeing potential, there's a lot of people, right, in the world that you would start talking to and you'd be like, yeah, there's nothing here, right? There could never be something here, right? That's just facts. Potential is important, but what's more important than potential is what's actually happening in front of you, is what's actually happening in the reality of the situation, right? If someone's actively communicating, if someone's actively communicating, if someone's actively holding space for you, if someone's actively being kind and considerate, and if they're taking steps towards you, or if they're hiding themselves, or with the Sun coming out here, this is going to be the last card I pull here for this reading. The Sun coming out here, I mean, obviously you see potential in this reading, and I would trust yourself with that. You're standing in your power, and really what it's going to lead to is love and the ability to love, right? Is there a specific person that you are thinking of right now? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I could probably pull and figure it out, but I think it doesn't matter. Because I think either way, if there is a person or if there isn't a person, it's still the same thing. You're letting go of the idea that potential means that it has to happen. That potential means that you have to give everything away to try to make it work, right? You're letting go of that. You're seeing potential as a thing that is important, but you're realizing that the here and now is way more important, right, than what could happen in the future. What could happen in the future will make you act different in the now, right? It will affect if you are taking steps forward. It will affect if the other person is taking steps forward, and it will, you always gotta think, right? There are people who will, when they start feeling something deeply, they will disconnect, right? They will back off because it scares them, right? We call that avoidant. There are people who, when they feel something, they will latch on so tightly and chase to the ends of the earth at the risk of, or they will exhaust themselves chasing. We call that anxious, right? We call that anxious attachment disorder. Avoidant attachment disorder is the other one, right? Now, a lot of people have these. It's very common because Um, well, let's just say the living conditions of our world are not the best. And the parents that people have are also not the best. Due to the conditions within which they were raised and the circumstances within which they are raising their children. With that being said, still reality, right? And you have to understand what you're comfortable with and what you're able to accept and what you're able to deal with in your life. Even if you see potential, if every time you get close to someone, they run away, what's really the point, right? If you can't get close to someone, if they just won't let you, what is the point of chasing it? It's not your job to fix another person. You can take it upon yourself if you want to. It's a very noble thing to do. Although, people should want to work on themselves, right? I said the sun was the last card I was pulling, but the stars. All right? Have hope here. There will be a person, all right, where loving them will be easy. You know? There will be a person where loving them is easy. Where, I mean, it's not always going to be hunky-dory, right? Nothing ever is, but there will be a person where you don't have to pour your whole heart and soul and everything you've built for yourself into them to make it even functional, right? Don't do that. Don't take it from me. Don't do that. Been there. Done that. It's not worth it. You learn a lot from it, but if you learn it from a guy on the internet talking to you instead of having to go through it, I say all the better. That's part of why I started this. So I'm going to leave this here. That was a little scattered, although not entirely. It just went, I think, more in depth than, and there was more channeling there than reading the cards, right? Which I'm not totally against. It was just different, I think. I hope this helped you. Hug your mother, drink some water, all that stuff. If anyone knows who I'm referencing when I say that, props to you. All right, props to you. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he does animal fact videos. He's awesome. Love that guy. Hug your mother, drink some water. He usually adds a third thing, which changes. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this helped. Later.